IG Mills, short him something.
Welcome to the Realist Show Out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, leave a comment down below, and do not forget to share. Today we have another special guest. Goes by the name of Ryan P. Absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for being on the show. Without hesitation, let's get into the first question. What made you get into music, and what motivates your music?
What made me get into rap music? I've been rapping for nearly 23 years now. It started off as a hobby, and then in 2008, that's when I started to take my rap music a bit more seriously. But when I was like 15, it did start as a hobby, as I said. I used to rap with my friends in the school hallways, and then 2008, that's when I started to take my rap music a little bit more seriously, and that's when I started to write my first track called Mum Struggling, because you hear a lot on the telly and on the news that mum's struggling with the kids, whether it's like financially or even little things to put food on the table for the kids. And the Mum Struggling track talks about helping mums struggle with the kids through God's help, that they get through their struggles and better things will come out of their struggles.
And I've heard some of the tracks that you've written, and they all have really meaningful titles. Nothing negative, nothing circular, as you emphasize so prominently in your music. Why is that?
Because a lot of rappers used to negative and secular rap. They use the M word a lot, or they might talk about gun and knife crime, but in a negative way. And I wanted to bring out some tracks that are a bit more positive and real, honest and positive. And other rappers, like negative and secular rappers, can listen to the tracks and think to themselves they can write a track that's a bit more positive, a bit real, honest and positive, rather than talking about gun and knife crime in a negative way. So that's why I chose to write more positive tracks, real, honest and positive tracks.
Who's your favourite musician and why?
My favourite musician will have to be obviously Michael Jackson, because he was my biggest musical inspiration from a young age, obviously he's an absolute legend through his music, and he's inspired me with my rap music. I know he's not a rapper, well, obviously a singer, not a rapper, but through his music and his dance moves, that's inspired me with my rap music and my rapping career. So. And that's why Michael Jackson has been my biggest musical inspiration.
Also, am I right in saying that you also have some connections with Michael Jackson in terms of your brother's the best impersonator of Michael Jackson in the world?
Yeah, my stepbrother Navi, by the name of Navi on his YouTube page. He's a Michael Jackson impersonator. He's had plastic surgery on his nose and face to look more like Michael Jackson. And he's actually performed in front of Michael Jackson in Los Angeles for his 50th birthday, and then the following day was invited to Neverland, and Michael Jackson showed him around the Neverland Ranch, and he was there for a day or so for the day. He didn't actually stay over there, but he was there for the day, and he's the number one Michael Jackson impersonator in the whole world. As I said, he performed in front of Michael Jackson, and he had plastic surgery to look like Michael Jackson as well. So that's could have been one of the reasons why he was the number one Michael Jackson impersonator in the world, basically. So yeah.
Also, bringing me on to my next question, who would you say is your favourite artist in the UK and why?
In the rap scene at the moment, I would say Nines. He's an artist that rapping album out recently.
It's a good album, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing very well. He's doing very well in the music rapping scene at the moment. And obviously there's Morrison. He's a white up and coming artist. Because obviously being white in rap music can not always be an easy thing, but being a white rapper, he's doing very well for himself in the rapping scene.
Another good
and Jordan as well, another rapper who did a track with Morrison called Brothers, because Morrison wrote a track called Brothers because his brother got murdered, but he wrote a track in a more positive way than a negative way of the track. And Jordan actually features in that track as well, because Jordan's also an up and coming rap artist from Salford, Manchester. And he's an up and coming another rap artist as well. So those three rappers are, I would say, the on the UK rapping scene at the moment that I would recommend that are doing very well. You could say
they're great rappers, especially Nines and Morrison. Definitely two good rappers to watch out for. Brings me on to my next question. What advice do you have for young aspiring musicians like yourself that want to get into the music industry, want to be part of the music industry, want to take their career to the next level? What advice do you have, Mr. Ryan P?
I would say follow your dream, follow your dreams, keep working hard, keep persevering, keep working hard, and just try and bring out tracks that are very positive, and try and just use your positive mind in a positive, trying to have like a positive mindset for when you're writing tracks, and not a negative mindset. Trying to have a bit more of a positive mindset when you're writing tracks, so that way the tracks might be a bit more positive and real, honest and positive. So a lot of rappers, they might have a negative mindset when they write a track, and that might cause them to write a negative track. But if you have a bit more of a positive mindset when you write tracks, then that might make the track be a bit more positive and real. No, like make the track maybe not to be like negative or secular. So
And I
that's
think
what I say about the young rap scenes, young rap artists at the moment. That's what I say. But I just follow your dreams and just keep going, keep persevering, keep working hard, and you will get there eventually. So that's what I would say.
fantastic. Thank you so much. You've made some really detailed points about, rappers being so negative and, talking about so many negative topics when it could be positive. But again, it goes back to a mindset thing. And I think that's really important that we actually are more conscious of the music we put out. And I feel that you as a rapper, as a musician, you do a fantastic job of making sure the music's relatable, but it's still positive. It doesn't send out messages of mass destruction, of killings, of stabbings. It doesn't talk about women in a negative way. And I feel that is very difficult to do. And it's actually a skill set to be able to be a good rapper, but also only talk about, positive things or things that are going to inspire our community. This brings me on to my next question. If you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would it be and why? This is also a question for the viewers. So put in the comments what song you would listen to and why. But it's for the rest of your life. What song would it be?
I would definitely have to say Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Because the official video on YouTube at the moment's got 1.2 billion views. But not just because of that, obviously, but because he made the video up as he went along. He did it in one take because he didn't have a tape recorder when the video was filmed, so he had to make it up as he went along, and that shows that he was an absolute genius as well. And obviously when he does his Billie Jean in a live performance, he does the moonwalk, which is one of the most iconic dance moves, the moonwalk. So that's another reason why I listened to Michael Jackson, Billie Jean for the rest of my life, because of that, the music video, and the moonwalk. That was his most iconic dance move. When he did a live performance, Billie Jean, the moonwalk was a very iconic dance move. So that's why that's why the track I would like to listen to for the rest of my life. That's the reason why.
And brings me on to my next question, drill, the topic drill. Do you feel that drill music is negative and has a negative impact on our culture, our community, or do you feel that the police and local authorities use drill music as a way to target young, black, vulnerable men?
Can you expand a bit more?
Of course. What I'm asking is, do you feel that the genre of drill is negative, or do you feel that police use it as an opportunity to target young black men? So young artists that are drill rappers are being targeted by the police because of the genre of drill, or is it because it's actually negative? What's your personal opinion?
Well, because I've never actually been involved in these sort of things, I can't actually say, because I've never actually been involved in these sort of things, to be honest.
Do you feel that the police use music as a way to target young people?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. Nothing to the rap scene. I think it's just where they're committing crimes on the street. Not. I don't think police target people through rap music, but I think police might they might target black people if they're committing crimes on the street more than the rap music. To be honest with you, I would say that the police wouldn't target black people for the music, but even if it's like maybe the police might target rappers if it's a negative track talking about get a knife combat in a negative way, then the police might use that as an excuse. But if it's a positive track with the rap music, they might leave that, and then they might target people on the street. Nothing to do with rap music. I'm just in general. If they're committing crimes on the street, that's when the police might target young people and young black people. Then that's what I would say.
What advice do you have for young people that are watching this that are maybe caught up in the life of crime, maybe being targeted by the police, local authorities, maybe not sure which direction to go in? What advice do you have for these young people?
I would say try to stay on the straight and narrow. Obviously, like living on a council estate cannot be easy because a lot of people might be in gangs because of being on an estate, or they might start smoking weed, or they might start selling weed, and that can cause things a bit of confliction between like different people on the street, and that really. So.
And in terms of staying out of trouble, what advice do you have for young people so they can stay out of trouble? If they find themselves in trouble, who could they speak to? When you found yourself in trouble, or people that you knew that was in trouble, what advice would you give to them?
Just try and stay out of these things like smoking weed, being in gangs. Just try and stay even if you live on a council estate. It's not an easy thing not to be in a gang or smoke weed. Being on an estate is not an easy thing. But even if you live on like a council estate, try and not go down that path. Still, just do what you have to do. Live a normal life, and don't think about being in a gang. Don't think about like smoking weed,
making wrong choices.
Yeah, wrong choices. Because being on a council estate doesn't mean you have to be in a gang. Doesn't mean you have to smoke weed. That's an option that young people have living on a council estate. They can have an opportunity to stay on the straight and narrow path without smoking weed or without being in a gang. So if they stay out of being a gang or smoking weed, then that might happen them to stay on the straight and narrow.
Definitely, and that's really, really positive, practical advice and tips. If you find yourself in a situation, speak to Voice for Youth Against Violence, speak to a mentor, speak to somebody you trust, maybe a teacher, maybe a community leader, maybe a family member, maybe a cousin. Find somebody that you can speak to so that you don't feel alone, you don't feel trapped and isolated. It's been a great interview. Thank you for joining us, Ryan P.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Do not forget to like, comment and share. Until next time, thank you for joining us.